We have key updates in both court cases for Thomas Smith as well as for John Caroni. Let's go ahead and dive right on into it. This coming from Live for Afford over on Twitter. And their new post, they say, order defendant Thomas Smith's motion to modify the conditions of his release is granted on consent of the government and pre-trial services to allow Smith to travel out of state from January 7th through January 13th, 2024, ordered by Judge Eric R. Committee on January 2nd, 2024, and entered in the same day. Now, the next one here, this case document filed on January 2nd. Minute entry for criminal proceedings before Magistrate Judge Taryn Mendy, I think is what that says. Anyways, the main point of this is we can see the defendant's name is John Caroni or Braden Caroni, and it shows defense counsel has been retained, defendant's name is present and under custody, as well as the defendant has been arraigned on the indictment, and the defendant pleads not guilty to all counts. Again, I want to stress that. The defendant pleads guilty to all counts. So John Caroni is not pleading guilty to any of the accusations and charges against him. And also it shows here Rule 5F order read into the record. So very important. And just continuing on, I'm going to go ahead and read through the rest of this. But these are the key elements of what we were going to discuss in this video. So if you want to keep listening, feel free to keep listening. Taryn Merkel, United States Magistrate Judge. This order is entered pursuant to Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure 5F and the Due Process Protections Act. Gives you more information on there. To confirm the government's disclosure obligations under Brady versus Maryland, gives you the code and its progeny, and to summarize the possible consequences of violating those obligations. The government must disclose to the defense all information, quote, favorable to an accused, that is material either to guilt or to punishment, and that is known to the government. This obligation applies regardless of whether the defendant requests the information or whether the information would itself constitute admissible evidence. The government shall disclose such information to the defense promptly after its existence becomes known to the government, so that the defense may make effective use of the information in the preparation of its case. As part of these obligations, the government must disclose any information that can be used to impeach the trial testimony of a government witness within the meaning of Giglio versus United States, gives you more information there, and its progeny. Such information must be disclosed sufficiently in advance of trial in order for the defendant to make effective use of it at trial or at such other time as the court may order. And then the footnote, this order does not purport to set forth an exhaustive list of the government's disclosure obligations. The foregoing obligations are continuing ones and apply to materials that become known to the government in the future. These obligations also apply to information that is otherwise subject to disclosure, regardless of whether the government credits it. In the event the government believes that a disclosure under this order would compromise witness safety, victims' rights, national security, a sensitive law enforcement technique, or any other substantial government interest, it may apply to the court for modification of its obligations, which may include in-camera review or withholding or subjecting to a protective order all or part of the information otherwise subject to disclosure. For purposes of this order, the government has an affirmative obligation to seek all information subject to disclosure under this order from all current or former federal, state, and local prosecutors, law enforcement officers, and other officers who have participated in the prosecution or investigation that led to the prosecution or the offense or offenses with which the defendant is charged. If the government fails to comply with this order, the court, in addition to ordering production of the information, may 1. Specify the terms and conditions of such production, 2. Grant a continuance, 3. Impose evidentiary sanctions, 4. Impose contempt or other sanctions on any lawyer responsible for violations of the government's disclosure obligations, or refer the matter to disciplinary authorities. Number 5, dismiss charges before trial or vacate a conviction after trial or guilty plea. Or 6, enter any other order that is just under these circumstances. The footnote, the Classified Information Procedures Act sets 4 separate procedures to be followed in the event that the government believes materials relating to classified information may arise in connection with the prosecution. So ordered, dated January 2nd, 2024, Taryn Merkel, United States Magistrate Judge. And then over here, this post from Live for a Ford, notice of hearing, related documents, 18 application employee professional filed by Eleni Ostro. We did talk about this with Eleni Ostro the other day. And then the other one, notice of hearing, related documents, application employee professional filed by Eleni Ostro, hearing scheduled for January 24th, 2024 at 10:30 a.m. at Zoom. The United States Bankruptcy Court for the District of Utah, in regards to SafeMoon US LLC debtor, bankruptcy case, notice of hearing of application of Eleni Ostro, Chapter 7 trustee, for entry of an order authorizing the trustee to retain and employ Foley and Lardner LLP as her general bankruptcy counsel effective as of December 14th, 2024. The objection deadline is January 22nd, 2024 at 3 p.m. The hearing date is January 24th, 2024 at 10:30 a.m. And it says, please take notice that on December 19th, 2023, Eleni Ostro, the trustee, the duly appointed trustee in the above entitled Chapter 7 bankruptcy case, the bankruptcy case filed by SafeMoon US LLC, the debtor, by and through her undersigned proposed counsel, filed the application of Eleni Ostro, Chapter 7 trustee, for entry of an order authorizing the trustee to retain and employ Foley and Lardner LLP as her general bankruptcy counsel effective as of December 14th, 2023. And goes on to say your rights may be affected. You should read the application carefully, discuss it with your attorney if you have one in the bankruptcy case. If you do not have an attorney, you may wish to consult one. And just breaks down a little bit more information here. You've got also the certificate of service. I'm just going ahead and perusing through this. You guys can pause the video and read through these little details if you guys want to. But the main point, John Caroni says that he is not guilty of any of the charges. He's pleading not guilty to all counts. And then also here, Thomas Smith's motion to modify the conditions of his release is granted. There is the latest on the court cases with people in SafeMoon. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. I really appreciate all of you guys being here. Oh, a side note. So with the SafeMoon Orbital Shield, I've had numerous people telling me that it's still working for them. I did a video the other day because I saw reports. People were saying that it was shut down. So it seems to be kind of mixed signals right now. I did see at one other instance, somebody was saying that it wasn't available in their region. So I think it's going down in certain regions. It also sounds like it's a subscription-based service. It might have been something temporary that's been extended, but do keep in mind that there was already a statement issued before that people need to back up their seed phrases. So if anybody's watching this video and you're banking on the idea that SafeMoon Orbital Shield is not going to fully go away, you're putting yourself at a huge risk. So just play it safe. Make sure you back up your seed phrases just in case if that does happen. And that's what I got for you guys in this video. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. Double shout out thank you to We Love, Victor Vegas, OzMoonX for being higher level patrons. Thank you to my YouTube members for your support as well. God bless. We'll see you in the next episode.